Hey, Decepticon Doug here. We're trying out something a little bit different for our movie review format. I still want to keep the conversational reviews from time to time, but this format, although a little more typical for YouTube content, is a little bit easier for me to put out regularly, so we're going to give it a shot. I want to review movies more often, and I can't always get another person to review it with me, and this just seems like the best way to do it. So let's start off with X-Men Dark Phoenix. Or is it just Dark Phoenix? I don't know. My relationship with the X-Men movies is very complicated, as it no doubt is for the majority of superhero fans. I can't believe it's been almost 20 years since we first saw the X-Men on the big screen. But yep, I was a teenager, and now I'm not. And for better or worse, I've seen all those films in theaters. It's been a tradition since 2000 when I went with a whole group of friends, and that's still the case, but that group of friends is completely different. The X-Men films have had a tumultuous relationship with audiences, with some turning out really good, while others should be case studies in how not to make a blockbuster, or alternatively a case study in how to completely alienate your audience. Truth is, I have trouble thinking of a movie franchise that has such drastic ups and downs like the X-Men. Only Star Trek films come to mind. But anyway, Dark Phoenix. I originally didn't want to see this one given the negative reviews, but I have seen every X-Men movie in theaters for the last 20 years, so hell, why not see this through? Since we all know this is the last one, right? I mean, kinda. And I'll say this, I was expecting worse. Dark Phoenix isn't particularly good, but damn, some people have slaughtered this movie in the reviews. I kind of feel bad for it and everyone involved. I certainly understand the criticisms. There really isn't a clear emotional through line in the movie, and it does plot along mostly aimlessly. My biggest complaint is that the film is no damn fun. It's such a downer to watch Sophie Turner cry and kill people over and over again. She does a good enough job, but I have trouble nailing down her motivations from scene to scene, so I don't feel particularly invested in her quest to, wait, what was her quest? The truth of the matter is, this is all very familiar territory, but with less direction. We've seen these characters go through these motions, with the exception of maybe Xavier, who has to have some character growth as the story continues. I actually like his arc, but Magneto goes through his I'm bad, but maybe I'm good motions again, but with different goons at his side. And of course, we can't forget that this is actually the second Dark Phoenix story to come out of the X-Men Foxverse, since The Last Stand failed at it back in 2006. Come on guys, 50 years of comic book stories and you already have to fall back on this story again? They are a bit more loyal to the source material this time, so there's that. There are a few really glaring things that are really dumb that you just have to get over in order to enjoy this film at all. The setup is so goofy. Xavier has a phone line directly to the president, and the Prez calls him up and is like, "A shuttle is in trouble. Send the X-Men." What is this, the Adam West Batman? Also, why do they keep pushing the timeline by a whole decade? You're telling me that Professor X and Magneto are now at least in their mid-50s? I'd say more like 60. It was such a stretch during the last movie in the 80s, but now we're supposed to believe that this is 1992? Come on, are they all Wolverine now? I don't know, maybe it's better than trying to artificially age them with CGI or makeup. No excuses. If you have to keep these actors, stop writing yourself into this hole. You think the average moviegoer isn't going to call bullshit? Come on. Okay, I'm done. Like I said, you just have to kind of get over it. While the journey is a bit of a slog, it does lead up to a pretty cool action sequence on a train, which actually really works. I might even argue that this is the best action set piece since X2's attack on the X-Mansion. And honestly, a good action set piece goes a long way. If you don't think it's that important, just try to imagine Empire Strikes Back without the Hoth battle. Of course, Dark Phoenix is no Empire. It's more like Attack of the Clones, but with less cohesion. Also elevated by a great action sequence, come to think of it. Yeah, but seriously, there is a great energy to that scene that's lacking in most of the film. You get to see the X-Men actually use their superpowers, and it's directed with some tension and kinetic energy, great music cues and everything. Geez, it really makes you wish that there was a lot more of this stuff in the film. Anyway, if you want my opinion, Days of Future Past would have been a fine ending to the series, a great course correction to help fix the fumbles of X-Men Past. Then actually finish the series with Logan, implying that even in a fixed timeline, there really was no saving the mutants one way or the other. That would have been a poignant ending, would have paid off in the long run and left the series with something memorable. But now, X-Men finishes not so much with a bang, but a shrug. 2 out of 5 stars.